You ever notice small health changes that seem too minor to worry about? Maybe a little more fatigue than usual, a few unexpected bruises, or a cough that just won't seem to go away. At first, you tell yourself it's just age catching up, right? Maybe stress or not enough sleep. But what if those tiny changes are your body's way of whispering for attention? Because sometimes the smallest signals are the ones that matter most. See, the truth is, our bodies don't always shout when something's wrong. They whisper, a little tiredness here, a bit of dizziness there. And before you know it, those whispers turn into symptoms you can't ignore. As we grow older, every small shift in how we feel, our energy, our skin, our appetite, carries meaning. Blood cancers like leukemia, lymphoma, and myeloma rarely start with pain or something obvious. They begin quietly, disguised as the kind of things you'd easily shrug off. Feeling unusually weak, losing a few pounds without trying, or waking up drenched in sweat for no clear reason. It's easy to blame those things on age, diet, or stress, but sometimes they're your body's way of saying, hey, something's not right. And here's the thing. The earlier you catch these warning signs, the stronger your chances of recovery. Early detection can mean the difference between simple treatment and something much harder down the line. That's why today's topic is so important. Because on Medsential, we don't just talk about illness. We talk about awareness. We talk about giving you the tools to stay strong, informed, and in control of your health. So in this video, we'll break down the 13 early warning signs of blood cancer every senior should watch for, and how to tell what's normal aging and what's not. And make sure you stay with me till the end, because number 11 is one that most doctors say people notice last, but catching it early could literally save your life. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Do you believe early detection can save lives? If you do, comment, I'm listening down below, because awareness starts with you. And don't forget to hit subscribe to Medsential, where every week we share real health insights that help you live longer, stronger, and more aware. All right, let's begin. Because your body might be trying to tell you something important right now. Our first sign is constant fatigue that feels different. You know that feeling when you wake up and realize you're still tired? You've had a full night's rest, but it feels like your body never recharged. Simple things like folding laundry, cooking breakfast, or taking a short walk suddenly feel like a marathon. This isn't the same kind of tiredness you get from a busy day or a poor night's sleep. This is different. It's a heaviness that lingers, the kind that doesn't go away, no matter how much rest you get. For many seniors, this kind of fatigue is one of the earliest signs of blood disorders like leukemia or lymphoma. That's because your blood, which carries oxygen and energy throughout your body, isn't working as efficiently as it should. When healthy blood cells are replaced by abnormal ones, your body doesn't get the oxygen it needs. And that leaves you feeling drained, weak, and foggy, even when you haven't done much. So if you notice yourself sleeping well, but still feeling like you can't get through the day, don't brush it off as just getting old. Sometimes that kind of fatigue is your body's way of waving a quiet red flag. A simple blood test can rule out or detect early problems before they grow serious. And fatigue isn't the only sneaky sign. Sometimes your skin tells the story first. Number 2 on the list, unexplained bruising or bleeding. Take a look at your arms or legs. Do you ever find bruises that seem to appear out of nowhere? Maybe on your forearm or the back of your hand, even though you can't remember bumping into anything. For many people, especially seniors, these bruises seem harmless. But if you start noticing more of them, darker, larger, or showing up in unusual places, that's a signal worth paying attention to. You see, your body relies on platelets in your blood to stop bleeding and heal tissue. When blood cancers start affecting the bone marrow, those platelets drop. And when they do, bruises form more easily, cuts take longer to heal, and sometimes even brushing your teeth can cause your gums to bleed. It's not about panic, it's about awareness. If you see bruising without clear reason or notice frequent nosebleeds, don't ignore it. Keep track. Take photos. Show your doctor. Because the earlier this kind of change is spotted, the faster your doctor can step in and help. And while bruises show on the outside, the next sign happens deep inside, in the very bones that hold you up. The third sign, persistent bone or joint pain, aching knees, sore hips. Those things come with age, right? But there's a difference between normal joint stiffness and the deep, throbbing pain that keeps returning, no matter what you do. When pain becomes constant, not from movement, not from weather, but just there, sitting deep in your bones, that's when you should pay closer attention. In some cases, that's your body's way of telling you that something is happening inside the bone marrow. That's the factory where your blood cells are made. If abnormal cells start multiplying there, they crowd out healthy ones, building pressure that leads to this dull, stubborn pain. It's easy to dismiss it as arthritis or overuse, but if the pain feels different, sharper, more localized, or accompanied by fatigue, it's worth checking. Even a quick scan or blood test can help your doctor rule out what's going on. Remember, pain is not the enemy. It's communication, and your bones might just be trying to say something important. And when your bones ache, your immune system often sends another clue, one you can feel even in the middle of the night. The fourth sign, frequent fevers or night sweats. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night, sheets damp, wondering why you're sweating when the room isn't even warm? Or maybe you've noticed you're catching colds more often, even small infections that seem to hang around for weeks. Those are often signs that your immune system is struggling. When blood cells stop functioning properly, your body's natural defenses weaken. That means you're more likely to pick up viruses, run mild fevers, or sweat excessively at night, as your body tries to fight off what it can't quite identify. Many seniors dismiss night sweats as menopause, medication side effects, or room temperature. And sometimes that's true, but when those fevers or sweats become frequent, especially paired with fatigue or weight loss, that's your cue to check your blood health. You can think of your body as a house. When there's a short circuit in one wire, the whole system starts to flicker. Fevers and night sweats or flickers, early repairable signs that something inside needs attention. So, track your patterns. Write them down. If you're sweating through clothes or waking up warm several nights a week, mention it to your doctor. It might seem small, but it could be the first step toward catching something early. And if the heat doesn't get to you, the next sign might, the chills that come with sudden, unexplained weight loss. Number 5 sign, unexplained weight loss. You know your own body better than anyone, so when the number on the scale starts to drop and you haven't changed how you eat or added extra exercise, that's something worth noticing. Many people shrug it off and say, "Oh, maybe I've just been eating lighter lately." But when your clothes start to loosen, your rings slip off easily, or your face looks thinner without trying, that's not just coincidence. Unexplained weight loss is often your body's way of waving a flag, quietly but urgently, See, when abnormal blood cells begin multiplying inside the bone marrow, they start to consume energy rapidly. They burn calories that should be fueling your muscles, your organs, and your daily strength. In other words, the energy that belongs to you is being stolen away. That's why you might notice a sudden drop of 10 pounds or more without effort. It's not dieting. It's not aging. It's your body trying to tell you that something deeper might be going on. So here's a simple rule. If you lose more than 10 pounds without trying, don't ignore it. Even if you feel fine otherwise, get it checked. Because weight changes that happen quietly can sometimes be the earliest clues that your body's balance is off. Now let's talk about what happens when your body starts struggling to keep its strength. Sixth sign, weakness or pale skin. You might look in the mirror one morning and notice your face seems a little paler than usual. Or maybe a friend says, "You look a bit tired, even though you've been getting enough sleep." Perhaps your hands feel colder, or you find yourself needing to rest halfway through a short walk you used to handle easily. These changes can be subtle, but they matter. When your red blood cells drop, your body doesn't carry enough oxygen to your muscles and tissues. That's called anemia, and it's common in people with early-stage blood cancers like leukemia or myelodysplastic syndromes. Oxygen is your body's energy currency. Without enough of it, everything slows down. Your stamina, your concentration, even your breathing. You might notice your heart beating faster after climbing a few steps, or that lightheaded feeling when you stand up too quickly. The fix isn't about guessing, it's about knowing. A simple complete blood count test, also called a CBC, can reveal if your red blood cells, white cells, and platelets are in balance. It's one of the easiest and most powerful tools for catching early changes in your blood health. So if you find yourself feeling weak for no clear reason, don't just push through it. Ask your doctor for a test, because sometimes that simple check can give you back your energy and your peace of mind. And while your energy might drop, your body could send another quiet signal, this time through your skin. The seventh sign, itchy skin or red patches. If your skin suddenly feels itchy and no lotion, cream, or change in soap seems to help, it might not be a skin issue at all. Sometimes it's an inside issue showing up on the outside. When your body's immune system is overactive, as it often is with lymphoma, it releases chemicals called cytokines. These chemicals can irritate nerve endings just below your skin, creating that persistent, crawling itch that never quite goes away. You might notice small red patches on your arms, legs, or chest, sometimes dry, sometimes warm to the touch. They may look like a rash, but they don't respond to allergy creams or typical skin treatments. For seniors, this kind of itching can be especially frustrating. You scratch, you apply creams, but the relief is temporary or never comes. That's because the problem isn't on the skin surface. It's deeper, in the blood, where the immune system is sending mixed signals. Here's what to remember. If you've had persistent itching for weeks, especially without an obvious cause, it's time to mention it to your doctor. You don't need to panic, but you do need to pay attention. Because your skin might be whispering what your blood already knows. And your lymph nodes, those small bumps under your skin, might have their own story to tell. Number 8 sign, swollen lymph nodes. Have you ever noticed a small lump under your neck, behind your ear, or in your armpit? One that wasn't there before? Most people think it's just a swollen gland from a cold, and sometimes that's true. But when those lumps stay for weeks or seem to slowly grow instead of shrinking, that's when it's time to listen more closely. Your lymph nodes are like security guards. They filter waste and fight infection. But when the immune system becomes overloaded or cancerous cells enter the lymphatic system, those nodes start working over time. They swell, firm up, and can become tender to touch. In infections, swollen nodes are soft and go down quickly once you recover. But with blood cancers like lymphoma, they tend to stay painless, firm, and persistent. You might feel them under your jaw, in your neck, near your collarbone, or in the groin area. They're not always painful, but they're your body's way of saying, something's happening here. Pay attention. If you notice one that stays for more than 2 weeks or feels firm and fixed, don't wait. Your doctor can easily examine it and, if needed, order an ultrasound or biopsy. Catching changes in lymph nodes early can lead to fast answers and better outcomes. And the next sign? It shows up where most people least expect it, inside the mouth. Number 9 sign, bleeding gums or frequent nosebleeds. Have you noticed your gums bleeding more often when you brush your teeth? Or maybe a sudden nosebleed that catches you off guard, not because you bumped it, not because it's dry air, but for no clear reason at all. Most people overlook this. They switch toothpaste, use a softer brush, or think it's just aging gums. But when bleeding becomes frequent, even gentle brushing or flossing leads to blood. It might be something deeper than dental health. See, your blood has tiny cells called platelets. They're your natural bandages. They rush to any cut or scratch and help it clot and heal. When blood cancers like leukemia interfere with your bone marrow, those platelets drop. And when they do, even the smallest cut takes longer to close, and bleeding happens easily. That's why gums and noses are often early warning zones, the soft tissues where low platelets show up first. And if you find yourself dabbing at small nosebleeds or rinsing your mouth to see pink water again and again, don't ignore it. Ask your doctor for a simple platelet count test. It's quick, it's painless, and it can reveal problems long before they grow serious. Because your body doesn't always show pain. Sometimes it shows patterns. And when those patterns start repeating, it's time to listen. And that's not the only clue your immune system gives. Your body temperature might start fluctuating for no reason at all. Number 10, sign feeling cold or shivering easily. You ever notice how everyone else seems comfortable in the room, but you're reaching for a sweater? Maybe your hands stay icy, your feet feel chilled even under the covers, or you get shivers for no clear reason. It's easy to laugh it off and say, guess I just run cold these days. But when this sensitivity becomes constant, it can mean your blood isn't doing its job as well as it should. Healthy blood carries oxygen and warmth throughout your body. When red blood cells drop, a common effect of blood-related disorders, your circulation weakens. That's what causes that lingering cold feeling, especially in your hands and feet. Sometimes it's mild, sometimes it's frustrating. But when it's new or worsening, it's not just about temperature, it's about oxygen. That same oxygen that fuels your muscles, keeps your heart steady, and warms your skin. If you find yourself layering up all the time or shivering even when others feel fine, it's worth mentioning during your next checkup. A simple blood panel can tell whether your red cell count is low or your body's oxygen levels need support. And now let's talk about a sign that's even easier to miss. A quiet pressure you might feel just below your ribs. Number 11 sign, fullness or pain under the left rib. Have you ever sat down to eat and felt full after just a few bites? Or noticed a dull, nagging ache under your left side, like you've overeaten even when you haven't? That feeling might not be your stomach at all. Just beneath your left rib sits an organ called the spleen, a hidden part of your immune system that filters your blood. When blood cancers develop, the spleen often has to work overtime, trying to clear out abnormal cells. And in doing so, it can become enlarged, pressing up against your stomach and other nearby organs. That's why you might feel bloated, heavy, or stuffed even after a small meal. You might also feel a mild pressure or dull pain under your left ribs. Nothing sharp, but something that just feels off. It's one of those symptoms most people ignore for months because it seems harmless. But it's worth checking. A physical exam or a simple ultrasound can reveal if your spleen is enlarged or working too hard. So if you've noticed that you're eating less, feeling full faster, or living with that quiet ache under your ribs, listen to it, because your body's trying to make space for a message it wants you to hear. And the next sign may sound harmless, but it's one that many seniors shrug off for far too long. The 12th sign, shortness of breath. You walk to the mailbox, climb a flight of stairs, or bend down to pick something up, and suddenly you feel winded. Your chest tightens, your heartbeat quickens, and you have to pause just to catch your breath. You might tell yourself it's just getting older or being a little out of shape, but when shortness of breath comes on faster than it used to, or without much exertion, it's worth paying attention. Here's why. When your red blood cells are low, your body's oxygen delivery drops. That forces your heart and lungs to work harder to supply what's missing. Over time, even small activities leave you gasping, dizzy, or tired. This is a common symptom of early leukemia, when abnormal cells crowd out the healthy ones that carry oxygen. And because it develops gradually, many seniors mistake it for aging or lack of exercise. So here's a simple tip. If you find yourself breathing harder during tasks that used to be easy, walking, gardening, making the bed, mention it to your doctor, because the sooner you identify why it's happening, the faster you can get your strength and stamina back. And finally, the sign that often goes unnoticed until it becomes serious. Number 13 sign, frequent infections. Do you catch every little cold that goes around? Or notice that once you get sick, it seems to take forever to recover? That's your immune system telling you it's running low on backup. Your white blood cells are the soldiers that fight infection. But in blood cancers like leukemia or lymphoma, those cells are either too few or too weak to defend you. That's why you might keep dealing with sinus infections, chest infections, urinary infections, the same ones that used to go away easily. Sometimes the symptoms linger, sometimes they return right after antibiotics. And it's not because you're not taking care of yourself. It's because your body's defenses are tired. Here's the hopeful part. This is something that can be seen early with a routine blood test. Your doctor can look at your white blood cell count and immediately tell if something's off. So if you're getting sick more often than usual or staying sick longer than you used to, don't brush it aside. Getting it checked now could prevent something bigger later, because awareness isn't about fear. It's about giving your body the chance to heal before it's too late to whisper. You know, watching your health shift over time can feel unsettling. Some days you feel strong, other days something feels off, but you can't quite explain it. Maybe you've noticed changes that didn't seem serious at first. A little fatigue, a bruise that took too long to fade, small things you brushed aside because, well, that's what we all do. But here's the truth. Recognizing these early signs isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Your body doesn't always shout when something's wrong. Most of the time it whispers, softly, patiently, hoping you'll listen. And the beauty of awareness is that it gives you power, because when you know what to look for, you can act sooner. You can catch things before they grow, ask the right questions, and protect the health you've worked so hard for. Early detection doesn't just save lives, it saves quality of life. It keeps your energy up, your independence strong, your days fuller, and your mind at peace. It gives you more mornings to wake up with strength and more moments with the people who matter most. So if any of these signs sound familiar for you or for someone you love, please don't wait. Pick up the phone, schedule that appointment, ask for a simple blood test. Sometimes one small test can uncover what months of worry can't explain. And if that test comes back clear, you've gained peace of mind. If it finds something early, you've gained time, and time is the most precious gift there is. The good news is, most blood cancers today are treatable, especially when found early. So staying aware, informed, and proactive is the greatest act of self-care you can give yourself. Because your health isn't just about surviving, it's about living well, deeply, and fully. So let's recap before we go. We've covered the 13 early warning signs of blood cancer that seniors should never ignore: unusual fatigue, unexplained bruising, persistent bone pain, recurring fevers or night sweats, sudden weight loss, pale skin, itchy patches, swollen lymph nodes, bleeding gums, cold sensitivity, rib pain, shortness of breath, and frequent infections. Each of these is a small piece of a bigger puzzle your body is trying to show you. The key is learning to see the picture early, before it becomes too hard to fix. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these signs have you noticed before, but didn't realize could mean something deeper? Share your experience in the comments, because your story might just help someone else recognize their own. And if this video helped you, please take a moment to subscribe to Medsential. Here, we share real, trusted health insights designed to keep you strong, informed, and living well. No fear, just facts and care. Thank you so much for watching. Stay alert, stay kind to your body, and remember, your health is your greatest wealth. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep listening to what your body's been trying to tell you all along.